What's up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Guys, it's that time again. Spring 2025 test realm is almost here. And today we're partnered with KingsIsle to show you guys an exclusive first look at the myth spell changes. If you're a myth main, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention because there are some big adjustments coming to your spells. Some buffs, nerfs, and a few of them, well, let's just say they're interesting. We're covering everything from Scions, shadow spells, and the upgrades to Arc 3 and 4 spells. So let's get right on into it. First up is the Scion of Myth. If you had the PvP only version trained before test realm goes live, you're automatically getting the bottom path tier 2 version. And if you reset it, you'll get 75 spell elements refunded. Now, here's the change that's actually a pretty big deal. The bottom path is now PvE friendly. You can use the Gambit version in both PvE and PvP. Sounds great, right? Well, here's the problem. It's also been nerfed. The base damage is lower, and the Gambit damage has been reduced as well. Only tier 5 is slightly better than before, but every other tier is weaker. So while it's nice that Myth finally has access to Gambits in PvE, the trade-off is that it's overall a weaker spell than before. Next, let's talk about shadow spells, because this is a big system-wide change. Shadow pip costs have been reduced from 2 to 1. That means you're not waiting as long to use these spells, which is great, but there's a catch. The value of that missing pip has been moved into utility, not damage. So if you're looking for a pure damage increase, you're not gonna find it here. These spells will hit about the same as a regular spell of the same rank, but they'll come with stronger secondary effects. For Myth, that means we're getting some pretty unique changes to our shadow enhanced spells. So let's go over them. Starting with Tatzelworm Terror. For advanced combat, it now creates 2 universal 40% traps along with its hit. In PvE, it also keeps its 50% confuse effect. This can be a fun mechanic, and I'm glad to see it stay. Next is Barbarian Saga, and this one has one of the more unique changes. Instead of getting a deferred dot, this spell now creates 2 regular myth dots that last for 4 rounds. Typically, Myth gets delayed dot effects, but this one is immediate, meaning it applies pressure much faster. Top path for PvE stays the same with slightly more damage. Next is Baba Yaga. This one is pretty straightforward. It still deals damage, but the bottom path summons the Myth minion. If you liked minion-based gameplay, this could be worth picking up, but it's probably not going to have much impact outside of very specific PvE fights. And next, we have Mystic Colossus, which might be one of the biggest changes here. Instead of just dealing damage, this spell now steals up to 4 shields before hitting. Since it's an AoE, that means it could potentially steal up to 16 shields in total if you hit multiple enemies. That's a huge shift in how this spell functions, and it could be a serious counterplay tool in both PvE and PvP. And lastly, there is Snake Charmer, which now applies a single deferred myth dot that lasts 4 rounds. This is more in line with what Myth usually gets, but the fact that it's deferred means it's not dealing immediate damage. It could be useful in some situations. Overall, it's not anything too crazy. So overall, Myth is getting some pretty interesting new tools, but not everything is a straight buff. Scion's changes are a mixed bag, shadow spells are shifting more toward utility, and a few of these upgrades might actually shake things up in PvP. Based off of all the teasers so far, we may potentially be seeing a nerf to Jhin as well, since all of the base damage on the Gambits are going down, and this will definitely affect raids and PvP. But what do you guys think? Are these changes good for Myth, or do you think that they missed the mark? Let me know your thoughts in a comment down below. But yeah guys, that is going to be it for the Myth spell changes coming in the spring 2025 test realm. Huge shout out to KingsIsle for partnering up up with me today for today's video. I appreciate it so much, and I hope that you guys are excited for the myth spell changes. As always, if you need a community to be a part of to keep up with all things Wizard 101 and to now talk about these new spell leaks, make sure to join my Discord server. I will have the link for it down below, and swing on by later tonight because I will be back to streaming. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!